What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you guys my review for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Manga chapter number 12. Like I had said in some of my recent videos, I know it's been a while since I've done an actual review, but I was pretty determined to get one out this month, regardless of it being a little bit later than, when the chapter came out. As of when I'm recording this, I think the chapter came out 3 or 4 days ago, so trying not to, let it get longer than that. But let's talk about the chapter. A lot to talk about for sure. And all in all, I'm really satisfied with what we got this month in chapter 12. Let's talk about what happened. So, first things first, the chapter's title is Thorn Soul Bulb. And that title, makes sense, especially when you hit the end of the chapter and see what's going on. The cover for this month's chapter was a Sumire solo cover, which is cool to see, but it kind of misled me a little bit because I thought Sumire was going to actually do something in this chapter, but I guess nothing crazy happened from her just yet. Maybe she's due for something a little bit down the line, but she did have a cover, and the cover itself was cool. The chapter kicks off with Boruto on the scene, and he starts by saying to Konohamaru to please keep Himawari safe. A detail I really like right now too is that as he's talking to Konohamaru, he still calls him Master Konohamaru or Konohamaru Sensei, showing he still has the respect for him. And if you're Konohamaru, you're probably wondering why is this guy talking to me like that? Because if you think about it, it's not like Kawaki and Konohamaru were ever, that close to begin with, and Boruto is in that Kawaki role right now. Hidari tries to sneak attack, but Boruto ends up sending him flying with a wind-style breakthrough. Next, what happens is Kawaki and Delta get an update of what's going on from the sensory unit. So, Kawaki and Delta are pretty much not at the scene yet, but they're trying to monitor what's going on. Kawaki does see Jorah from afar. We then cut back over to the scene with Konohamaru and Boruto, where Konohamaru is now asking Boruto what he's plotting and if he's even aware of his position with the village. So, this is a completely understandable, take by him because, again, Konohamaru sees Boruto in that Kawaki role, and to Konohamaru's eyes, this is the guy who killed his idol, pretty much, his teacher in Naruto, at least to his perception. So that makes sense why he would have a reaction like this. Sarada is there too, of course, on the scene, and she actually defends him by saying that she'd be dead if Boruto hadn't arrived. This calms Konohamaru down a little bit. Next, Boruto just tells Nishi to look out for any claw mark movements. Sumire is telling Boruto that the tree has been targeting Sarada. So now Boruto has that knowledge that the main target is Sarada. Sarada pieces together that this creature has to be related to her dad becoming a tree. Konohamaru also pieces together that this is what was going on with Moegi as well. So they're starting to put together, a little bit of a connection here. And although Boruto knew this info, of course, it's new info for Konohamaru and Sarada to completely understand. Boruto tells Konohamaru that Hidari came into existence with Sasuke's chakra as a source. He tells him not to hold back at all so that they can save Sasuke. Konohamaru asks Boruto how he came across all this info to begin with. Instead of answering, though, Boruto tells Konohamaru to focus or he'll die. Which, it's not a false statement because, these beings are very strong. And, you have to be in, that Boruto realm of level to technically take him down. So his statement's not wrong. And, of course, I'm not surprised he ducked answering, too many questions. That's definitely how they've been playing Boruto's character so far. I'm sure more and more, slowly will get revealed. But they're not going to give us all that exposition in the middle of a fight, I would feel. So, next what happens is that Nishi starts talking and says that he senses chakra movement in the claw marks. Boruto says that he's going to take out the claw grimes which have popped out, and he tells Sarada to fight any ones that do come for her. So in the meantime, Konohamaru tells Sumire to come with him so they can back away with Himawari and keep her safe. Boruto takes care of most of these claw grimes, and Sarada is fighting one, but what happens is Hidari pops up out of that claw grime. Boruto immediately uses his flying Raijin with the shuriken and attacks Hidari with a Rasengan. This is very reminiscent of the scene of Minato getting Obito, and I love this callback. This was pretty cool. It's a great scene. Probably my favorite thing in the chapter up to this point so far. Really, really cool stuff. Hidari then disappears with one of the claw marks, and Sarada thinks that he's escaped to go heal, which, is exactly what was happening. He then appears again. Sarada suggests to Boruto to go to the sky to hit him with another Rasengan, but Boruto declines. He instead says he's going to use his Uzuhiko at max output and kill Hidari in one blow. So this is the first time we're seeing Boruto at this level of serious in terms of his power. So, Boruto's not holding back and he's trying to take care of business here. He explains pretty much to Sarada that the Uzuhiko works, like how the Uzuhiko works, as well as how power-wise it technically has no limit. Konohamaru is also listening into this explanation, which I think is a good thing that they pointed that out, that he's listening to and talking, because Konohamaru is also another Rasengan user. So this could be used possibly as like some sort of inspiration for him too. Although he does have something coming here in a second. Boruto says that both of his feet have to be on the ground to acquire the planetary chakra. So that's the technically only limitation of this jutsu right now. So we know that. And that's not a bad limitation or like a terrible limitation at all. In a way, I guess you could say it's similar to like Sage Mode in a sense, where you have to be at least, I guess you don't have to be stationary. Sage Mode is, more of like a sit and gather energy kind of thing. But in this case, this just limits Boruto from, leaving the ground. I don't know if it means that he can't move on the ground. He probably can, but he has to at least be on the ground is what it seems like. And then pretty much what happens is Hidari seems to be appearing again as Boruto's explaining this. This time he actually targets Boruto. Boruto does sense it, but Konohamaru jumps in the way and stops the attack with his new jutsu, which is the Rasen Barrier. Pretty cool stuff from Konohamaru, especially because, again, I know myself and I've read a lot of comments and stuff about how a lot of people want to see more from him, and I'm glad, he's kind of getting moments to show that he actually learned something new too during this time skip. There's still, in my opinion, a lot of, more work for him to be done, I guess, especially if you want to make him look like a future Hokage candidate, like he's, being groomed up to be. But this is a good start. He used this jutsu in the previous chapter as well, or I think it was 2 chapters ago, where he used like the little barrier to negate like the impact of the Chidori. But in this case, he protects Boruto by using this jutsu and does it in a convincing fashion. So cool stuff by him. And pretty much what happens is Boruto ends up saying, hey, I asked you to guard Himawari. Konohamaru pretty much responds to this by saying, stop complaining, and that he's going to decide on his own what the main priority is. So after that, Hidari then sneaks up and actually goes for Sarada again. And she actually saves herself by bringing out a new jutsu in her own right as well, which is the Chidori Stream. Cool to see that Sarada has learned that, in my opinion. So I was happy to see that, and happy to see that she could defend herself in that instance. And then what she does is she tosses Hidari actually Boruto's way. And Boruto ends up saying it's not perfect yet, but it's now or never. So technically, this Rasengan Uzuhiko right now isn't at that full power Boruto wanted. But he does land a blow, and the panels showing its power, in my opinion, were pretty nice. It's definitely an impressive display, and that's going to be something that looks pretty cool when it's eventually animated. Hidari is pretty much practically destroyed by this hit from the Uzuhiko, despite still having his head and his left arm remaining. Boruto is then making his way to go finish him, but Kawaki actually appears on the scene, rushes in, and finishes him off. So Kawaki steals the kill here, but this is very in character of Kawaki to come in there and just, go straight to business when he sees a threat. Goes in there, wastes no time, and takes out Hidari. Honestly, probably the best thing Kawaki has done, in my opinion, in 2 Blue Vortex so far, because sadly, Kawaki's been getting bodied a lot in some of these chapters. So to see him get something like this, it feels like it was much needed. So hopefully bro is going to start stepping it up soon. And then what happens after that is something appears once Hidari is destroyed. This is what's called the Thorn Soul bulb. And this is confirmed by Koji to Boruto that it is a Thorn Soul bulb. And Kawaki then comes up to Boruto and grabs Boruto by the shirt and tells him to explain what that is. Boruto says that he was told that it would help save his master, aka Sasuke. And he tells Kawaki to let him go or he's going to cut off his arm. And, I don't think that's an empty threat. Boruto might really do it because Boruto's been standing on business. So I believe that could happen. Kawaki then questions Boruto about who he got this info from. As Boruto's about to say something next, Boruto then gets sniped out of nowhere. And this is by Jura, who's from a very, very, very far distance. And he is disappointed that he missed Boruto's vitals. But this is from a crazy far distance. This is something you guys got to just look at the panel of and see. He's not even in the village. He's like far, far away and like who knows where. And he hits him from all the way over there. So Sarada's then rushing herself to Boruto and then rushing to grab the Thorn Soul bulb because she remembers that Boruto's doing this to save Sasuke, so she kind of makes that connection. And as she's going for that Thorn Soul bulb, her arm gets sniped and she pretty much takes a big hit. The bulb then starts flying away and making its way to Jura. Jura views Boruto now at this point in time as a bigger threat because now he knows what this bulb is, which tells us as readers that this Thorn Soul bulb thing might even be more important than what we're thinking right now. But as readers, we know at the moment, at the very least, that this Thorn Soul bulb is going to be the key to saving these people that are stuck in the tree forms. So Boruto was this close to getting Sasuke back, and then a off-guard attack is what took that chance away from him, and that conversation with Kawaki, because technically he got distracted by that as well. So I wonder how he's going to feel if knowing that he was that close to getting Sasuke back, but it couldn't happen because of a sneak attack like that damaged him pretty good, it seems. Now, what would be crazy in the next chapter is if Jura actually consumes this or, enters this in his body in some sort of way and then kind of gets like a huge power buff himself. That is what would, I feel like, make this even more interesting. I don't think they're going to go the route of saying like, oh yeah, Sasuke is done for sure now because Jura has this. I don't think they're going to go about that, but I think, the return of Sasuke is definitely going to get delayed for a while because of what's transpiring over here. So now on the last page, Jura does decide that Kawaki is going to be enough for Otsutsuki fodder to consume, and that he feels like instead of consuming Boruto, he's just got to kill Boruto now, and that's how the chapter ends. So, all in all, fantastic chapter. I actually think there's a chance that this might be my favorite chapter in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. It's definitely up there, minimum in the top 3, but as of right now, I actually think it might be my favorite. Let me know how you felt about it in the comments below. Did you guys think this was a great chapter like I did? Where does it rank among your favorites of 2 Blue Vortex? For me, again, I really, really enjoyed it. This is going to be probably my favorite chapter so far, if not at least in the top 3. Easy 10 out of 10 chapter. And, if you've seen my previous reviews, I'm not giving a 10 out of 10 to everything. There's a lot of chapters I feel like we've gotten in 2 Blue Vortex that have been also pretty good, and I've scored them in the realm of like that 8 to 9 range. I think the worst I've given a Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter so far might be a 7.5 or an 8, because genuinely there hasn't been a chapter that has been any worse than that to me. I think every chapter has been at the least good. And there's been a lot of chapters I feel like that have deserved a rating of, that 9 realm, and I'm pretty sure I've given a 9.5 and a 10 before too to some of the best ones. But yeah, great stuff. Let me know what you think though, for sure, in the comments below. I'm very, very excited to see where we're gonna head now next month. I feel like there's a chance that now that Boruto's down too, you never know. Maybe this could be that moment where Momoshiki strikes in the next chapter and takes over Boruto again, and maybe that could be what's needed if Jorah comes back like ultra powered up with this Thorn Soul bulb he has now too. Let me know what you think of that idea possibly happening. But to sum it up, I really, really like this chapter because I feel like a lot of characters got a good bit of shine in the chapter. It didn't feel like just a Boruto only chapter, even though Boruto definitely highlighted the chapter. Boruto went crazy with that Rasengan Uzuhiko, and Boruto took care of what he needed to. But I also like that Kawaki came in and had a moment. He got a kill at the end, and he needed a moment like that, I feel. So that was cool. Sarada was pretty involved too in the fight because she was the target, of course, and she brought out a new jutsu that we hadn't seen from her, being the Chidori stream, and then she also played a role by throwing Hidari. So that was cool. I guess it would have been cool to see something from Sumire, but we can't have it all. Konohamaru definitely played a good part in this chapter too, asked a lot of good questions to Boruto and did his job of protecting Himawari, and he also protected Boruto in a convincing fashion with his new jutsu. So all in all, I really liked how a lot of the side characters were utilized, and I liked what the main character did. So great stuff, greatly paced, took care of an opponent. Excited to see what happens now in next month's chapter. But that's going to wrap up this one. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.